Life coaches, I've got some exciting news for you. Over this next 90 seconds of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build yourself a brand new website with absolutely no skills, very limited funds, and in just one afternoon. So whether you're just starting out your life coaching career or you find yourself right in the thick of it with far too many clients to manage, well, life couldn't be easier for you right now. You find yourself in exactly the place you need to be. Just for you, I've created this step-by-step tutorial explaining how you can build this brilliant looking website. It's extremely attractive, it's extremely easy to build. There's only two things you're going to need to buy, which is a template and hosting. And I'm going to show you exactly what those are and exactly how you can get them today. So with this one afternoon thing, surely you've got to be some kind of whiz kid. Once again, absolutely not. There is absolutely no need for any design experience whatsoever. With this tutorial, I will show you exactly step by step. I'll never be leaving your side. I'll never be doing anything that you'll be thinking, hey, why on earth did he do that? I don't know how he did that. This is the joy of this video. It's only going to take a couple of hours. Stand it beside you, pause, stop, fast forward, rewind, whatever you want. Just realize that you're going to be able to create yourself an incredible website for you to be able to send your clients to. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this right now. This is the website that I've built for you. So this is the grand tour of the website that we're going to be building. So I want to just give you a bit of a quick stint of what we're going to be building today. The first page we've got is this lovely capture image where we've got just a title of our business, and whether it's you yourself as Joe Smith Coaching or Autumn Life Coaching, whatever you've got, this is where you're going to display your title and either a subheading or a pain point that you wish to receive. But very simple, very open plan, and we've got our call to action button here. And as you'll see, that this call to action button will always remain on the page wherever we are, so that everyone's going to be able to. The next part is a visual part, where if you've got yourself a 90-second video or an 8-second video, whatever you have, this is a great place to put it up, that people can, as they start to scroll down, they'll be able to start to click and watch your video, and you'll be able to explain to them probably more in a 6-second video than you will on an entire website. So this is a really great place to have that. You can customize yourself a really lovely thumbnail so that people have a bit more of an urge to click and watch the video that you're looking for. It'll all be from YouTube, so you'll still get your click-through time, and your viewer watch will go up as well. The next part here is our feature set. This is where basically you ask a question of, do you wish you could do life differently, or whatever rhetorical question that you want to ask. And then basically you've got a way of just explaining, these are the 3 different things that I can do to help you if you're asking yourself this question. You know, what is the answer to the question here? And then this is how I can help you. So the next part here is our testimonials. This is where people will be able to read the reviews that you've got from your life coaching with other clients. This is a really great way for people to actually visualize themselves into using your service. So this is where you're going to be able to bring something really strongly to life. And then we've got our programs here. Now, as you can see, the programs, we haven't just started listing programs. What we've got is a number of touch points where we've just eased the users in to our website. We gain their trust, we tell them a little bit more, and then now we've got a bit of the sell, just the very start of the sell nevertheless. But this is just where we've got our touch points that we can then to say, hey, look, these are the two courses that you can get, or the 2 programs that you can go on. We've got, you know, change your environment or change your relationships. I don't know what you have as a life coach, but these are just 2 really good examples. I'll show you exactly how to make those. And then we've got a final contact box down at the very bottom. We've also got, as I said, our help me change, which is a bit more of an in-depth call to action box. But sometimes once people scroll past here, it's on the opening page, I find it's very good to have a contact box at the bottom of the page. So going into our about page, I've split this up into 2 parts. So you've got about me. So this is how you'll explain how you, the life coach, will be able to help them through their lives. You can write a bit about you, add some quotes in, add some text about you, add some images. And then we've also got our about NLP, because a lot of people won't have heard of neuro-linguistic programming. A lot of people will have no idea of what a life coach is. So this is where you can just decide to start writing a little, not quite blog text, but just little overviews about what you are, and just try and give people a better idea of why they should be using your service. Then we've got our programs for you. As I showed you down at the bottom, these are the programs where people can just click on one of the programs here. And then this is your way of just basically giving them a depth and overview of the actual program, a bit of the course structure that's going to be running. Here we've got, you can explain absolutely everything that's going to happen. You've got reviews that you can add in, and this is a great place for people to go onto your website to review you, and the review will be automatically displayed. So they're a really, really good way of doing it. And you've got this for both courses that you've got going. If you've got 5, 6, 7, we can do this for multiple times. And then we've got also the other recommended courses down here. Next, we've got our blog. So this is going to be somewhere that you, as a life coach, you're going to want to be blogging a lot, especially if you're selling yourself online. This is going to be a great place where people can come and start reading a lot of your blogs. I would definitely advise you to put a lot of promotional material into your blogs more than your website. So if you are advertising, this is where you want to actually advertise a blog. So advertise a blog post which is going to stand out instead of actually advertising your website. But as people come to read your blog, your call to action will still be up here. They can still jump to anywhere about who you are and start to read your blog post. There's going to be Facebook sharing, there's going to be Twitter sharing, comments, leaving a reply. A really, really interactive way to get in touch with some of your potential clients. And then our final part here is the help me change. This is the call to action I've been talking about, which is where, just like the homepage, we've just got a nice background image, but very much at the forefront, a register where people can sign up with their name, their email address, and send you a message. And we'll go about how we can do this in different ways and different shapes of form to get a really great grasp on how we can create you a very simple but very elegant website in just this afternoon. So with this tutorial, there will be a lot of information that I'll share with you. There's going to be some things that I'll leave to a different tutorial, which is going to be Life Coaching Advanced. So that's going to come in a while. But today is just very much getting down the basis. You'll be able to send clients directly to this website. There's going to be something that you're going to leave you with, something that you're going to feel really proud of, and something that you'll be ready to show off to many potential clients and try to make some sales. So without further ado, I'm going to show you exactly how to get started. So just follow these next steps. So the first thing we're going to do is buy our hosting. Now, there's lots of different hosting platforms out there, but I really recommend that you go with InMotion Hosting. I'm going to tell you why now. The first thing is their speed. They are an awful lot quicker than anything else out there. This means that whenever you're editing your website, you're going to be able to do it a lot faster than if you use another hosting program. For the price that you're paying for InMotion, you're going to be able to get some great speeds. Their second plan, their power plan, has twice the speed of any of their original server, which is still faster than other servers out there. Also, with InMotion, you'll be able to get yourself a free domain name if you haven't got one already. If you have, great, but if you're starting out again, get yourself a free domain name with them. So with InMotion as well, there's a 99.9% upkeep. This is incredible for the price that you're paying. No other server of this price has this kind of level of support. This upkeep means that whenever your website's up there, any server crash or anything that might just bring your website offline for a point of time is going to be extremely rare with InMotion. With other hosting platforms, it becomes an issue. With InMotion, I've certainly found absolutely no problems with mine whatsoever. And finally, with us here at Website Built By You, you'll be able to save 25% off the power plan. So this is the second price plan, which I'm going to show you in a second, but you'll be able to save 25% off with them. So what I want you to do is click this button here. You can click any of the links here to go and purchase InMotion Hosting. So we'll click this. And here we are. So what we want to do is we want to go into WordPress hosting. And as you can see here, we've got 3 different packages. Now, there's 3 different packages here that will relate to different businesses. With here, we've got this launch package, which they say is great for small blogs. Everything with unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, and unlimited email is all across the board for all 3 packages. Where it differs is where you have 2 websites, 6 websites or unlimited websites, and the performance goes up as well, from 2 times faster to 4 times faster, and the Pro comes with a Pro level of support as well. I find InMotion as well has some of the best support you can have, especially even with these 2 packages. There's online chat 24/7. They're US based. They'll be able to help you out at any point with whatever you've got. So I highly recommend that you go with either launch of Power. The only difference is having slightly more websites to assign to the hosting platform, but also the 2 times performance. So I'm currently with Power. I find it works really well for me. It helps me get my work done a lot quicker. But if launch is where your budget is, and for starting off, that's more than okay. So for this order, we're going to go through the launch. And we're just going to go for 1 year. As you can see, that it's an extra dollar just to go for 1 year. 2 years is going to be $5.99 a month. This is still an absolutely tremendous price. So we want to go here, click this link. And here we are ready to go. So I'm just going to empty my cart here from before. We just want to go back in there. Okay, so here we go. The first thing that it's going to happen is it's going to ask, would you like to purchase a domain name? Now remember, with this offer, you get a free domain name. So if you don't have a domain name already, a domain name is just what you want your website to be called. So I'm going to call this website website for fun times. Let's see what website for fun times comes up with. It's available, so we can add it to our cart and have our fun times. And as you'll see here, even though we've got a free domain name, it has added domain privacy as well to our basket. Now, domain privacy is just basically it's keeping your details protected. I've sort of found that there's not really much difference. You're really just paying $10 just to avoid a couple of cold calls from different website companies. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove that and continue on with my basket. And as you'll see here, it's going to ask for protection again, and I'm going to say no thank you. So with InMotion Hosting, they're going to ask you if you want to upgrade to the Power plan. And this is the earlier package that we saw, which has the 2 times the performance and the 6 separate websites. Again, I'm going to say no thank you to that. I'm quite happy with what we've picked. So here we go. The 2 things here. You've got your data server. There's really not much of a difference between which one you pick. For me, I just go for whichever I'm closest to in the world. So at the moment, I'm in a nice little house in Ireland. So Washington, D.C. is going to be closer for me. So I'm going to select that. But the really important thing is here, we want to make sure that we install WordPress. It's completely free, and it's just an add-on to what we want to have when it comes to our website. So make sure you click that button and continue. And this is where we're going to enter our email address. If you're, as a new customer, you're going to want to enter this here. You're not going to be asked for a password yet. That's going to come in an email later on. But what I want you to do is just go ahead, type in your email address, and follow the on-screen instructions, and I'll meet you just on the other side. Okay, so now we're just going to put in our details. So this is very simple. I just need you to follow the on-screen instructions, your first name, your last name. If you have a company name for your website and for your business, a registered company name, go ahead to put that in. If not, just leave it blank. Your country, this is all information that you should know. Make sure you get your confirmation email correct. And then just in the referred by, what I want you to do is just put website built by you.com. This is just to help them understand where you're coming from. And then you've just got your billing information down here, your card number, your expiry, and your signature code. Once again, I've already done this. I'm not going to put my card details in for you all to see. So I'm just going to jump on and meet you at the other side once again. So here we go. Now we've come to the next stage of our checkout. We've put our card details in, we've put our email addresses. I've just scrolled down this page a little so that you can't see my details. What we want to do next is just click this agree button. That's the only thing that you'll need to do on this page, and then just check out. Now, once again, I've already purchased my hosting, so I'm not going to click this button, but I'll show you exactly what happens next. Okay, so now it's time to install WordPress. So as you can, if you want to go back to the website, we've got the text instructions of how to install WordPress here. You'll notice here that the first step is from the email you'll receive from InMotion. Click Get Started and reset your password there. So all that's going to do is set your password up and get you ready to go. I've already done that, so I'm just going to take you straight down to step 3 once you've got your password set up. And what you want to be here is in the AMP, which is the Account Management panel. So what I want you to do is scroll down here, go to Install Popular Software, and then what we want to do is install WordPress. So we've got our password, and we want to just go in there. Okay, so now what we want to do is get started. So here it'll ask whether you want to have a www dot before your website. I prefer not to nowadays, so I'm just going to keep that there. And what you need to do is just select the domain that you wish to use. So we've got, so this is the domain I'm going to use to set up. We don't need to have anything in the directory, we just leave this blank. And then we've got our site name and our site description. Now this will automatically say my blog or my WordPress blog. So what I want you to do is just give it a site title. So for me, website built by you. And then just a site description, creating amazing websites. So you don't need to put too much thought into this because you will be able to change this in the settings when it comes to building our website. So if you're not quite sure of what you want your site description to say, then we can change that at any point. All this is going to be is just what's going to come up here. So for example, the site name for this page is In Motion Hosting, and the site description will be this part here. So now what you need to do is create a username and a password. So go ahead and create a username and a password. This is what you're going to use to log in to your WordPress. So I'm just going to hide my password here. So we're going to have Ed, and then we're just going to have our admin email address. So we can just keep that at admin, or you can scroll that back to Ed, whatever your name is, for example. Select your language. And then if you would like WordPress to lock out after a certain amount of time, for example, you've forgotten your password and you want it to lock out after 5 times, go ahead and check this button. Or if you prefer not to, that's okay. And then what you want to do is just type in your email address for the instructions to be sent to you of how you're going to install WordPress or how you're going to log into WordPress. We've got a couple of advanced options here, and they're all to do with auto-upgrading WordPress and auto-upgrading the plugins. You can check these. I prefer just to leave them unchecked, just because I like to have a little bit more control. Sometimes I don't want to update something until I maybe wanted to actually sit down and read exactly what's going to change and if I have to do any editing on the spot. So I leave those unchecked. Backup location. This is another great thing about WordPress. About InMotion, that the backup hosting is completely free. So if something does go wrong and you hit the delete button by mistake and you need to get some things back, a quick contact to them and they'll be able to help you out. So what I want you to do is click install. Now I'm actually just going to change the website for the purpose of this. So website install. And so just after we've hit install, you'll see that the data is starting to install there. And we're all done. So all you have to do is check your emails and all your information will be sent to you there. And then if you want to log in, just click this here. And there we go. You'll either have to log in with your details for the first time there, or it might just come up like this. So there we are, and now we're ready to install WordPress. And now we're ready to install our theme. So now what we're going to do is we're going to purchase Stack. If you come to the page on the website, the link is directly below, just the About Stack. I'm going to tell you all about the information that Stack has to offer, everything about it, lots of different information, different testimonials, real life testimonials from real people saying just how great Stack is. This entire website is built with it, so you can see it's just so clear, it's so crisp, and it could not be easier to use. So what I want you to do is click the link of saying get Stack now, and then what we want to do is just buy it from here. So if we click the buy now product, you'll see here the regular license says $59. There's a little bit of VAT in charge in that, so it goes up to $70.80. All you have to do is fill out your name, your details, your payment method. Then what I want you to do is click save and continue. Once you've paid for it, you go to your download section, and then download all files and documents where it comes to Stack. So the reason why I'm not showing you this is because I've already downloaded Stack, and I don't want to. There's no need for me to pay for it again. So there we go. So straight to the website, all the information there, and download Stack for you. So now we've come to the dashboard of WordPress, and the first thing we want to do is install the theme that we've bought. So we want to go into Appearance, we want to go into Themes, and then what we want to do is add a new theme. So we're going to be installing Stack, which is obviously what we've bought from Envato. So if we go here to upload theme, and then we want to choose the file. Now the file sometimes does come in this v1.08 zip file. What I want you to do is actually, if you're using a Mac especially, unzip the file, go in here, and then click the Stack WordPress theme zip. This is the file that we actually want to upload. So if we click that and install. Now it shouldn't take too long. You can look at the bottom of your corner, and once it's done here, unpacking the file, installing the theme, and there it is, themes installed successfully. So what we want to do is now activate this theme. So it's activated, and then this is the theme that we are now using. So as you can see, Stack here is currently the active theme. Now the next thing that we want to do is install the plugins that come with Stack. Now there's a couple of different plugins here, and we can do this quite easily by just going to begin installation process. Now all these plugins are very highly recommended to have and give the install. Everything apart from Visual Composer. This is actually one thing that we don't really need. This is because we're going to be using Variant Page Builder. Now you really get a choice of one of the two. Variant Page Builder is what the demonstration is going to be, and I'm going to be showing you how to use the ins and outs of Variant Page Builder. So Visual Composer, it's not really needed for this. So you can install it if you like, give you the option later on. I'm just going to leave it. So we've got to install 7 of those 8 plugins. We'll click, now what we want to do is click all the ones we want. And then we click install from the drop down menu and apply. So as this is going, you'll start to see each installation happen individually. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So just keep an eye on that. Again, don't be clicking off the page or going to any other sites at this. All our plugins are installed. Plugins are installed. You get confirmation of this with this down here. All installations and activations have been completed. So what we want to do is go to return to the required plugin installer. Now this is WooCommerce. At the moment we don't really need to set this up just yet. This is something that we will do a little bit on later on. So for WooCommerce, I'm going to just say not right now. And we'll skip setup just for the moment until we're near the end, and you'll have a bit more idea of the theme. Okay, so all our plugins are installed. Once again, Visual Composer will tell you to install. We're not going to do this. And then if you want to have updates and extras coming straight away from Envato, this is a really good thing that I think you should actually do. All you do is you log in, you enable the updates with the API that you've been given, just for the purpose of the demo. I'm not going to do this now, but it's definitely something I would recommend that you do. Okay, so now we go down to our plugins, and we just want to make sure that all our plugins have been, not only have they been successfully installed, we want to make sure that they are currently active. So the ones that we need, which are highlighted in blue here, these are all active, and especially Variant Page Builder. So that's all good and well. You'll have a couple of these ones here, that anti-spam and Hello Dolly. At the moment we don't really need any of them, so we're just going to leave them deactivated for the moment, and we're going to begin the process. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is called import demo data. So as we're in Visual Composer, what you'll start to see is if you don't do the one-click demo data, none of your images will actually show while you're editing. So what we want to do is install this plugin. And basically it's this one here. We do have Visual Composer here, but we're not going to be using it. But stack with the variant demo data and we will import. So yes, we want to import this. And just have a look underneath importing, please wait. Okay, now that's all done. So we have installed that. One of the things with the demo data, it will basically give you a whole range of pages that weren't there before if you've gone and had a look. And we'll talk you through how you go through those individually. But here we are. Let's start to build your... Right, here we go. So now we are in what we are going to call the back-end dashboard. Now, this will look very similar to what you've currently got now that we've installed everything that we need. We've installed the template, we've installed our plugins. The first thing we're going to do is just go over a few general settings. So what I want you to do is, now that you're on the dashboard here, what I want you to do is scroll down and go to settings. So we'll click on settings and just go to general settings here. So this basically comes up with our site title and our tagline. So for this website, this is what I want you to have as your coaching title. So for example, Joe Smith Life Coaching, if that's what it is, or if you're, for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to call this Autumn Life Coaching. Oh, make sure you spell it. Don't do what I've done and have a glass of Coke too many and not be able to spell. And then here we have just what our tagline is. So this isn't going to be what comes up here. I'm going to show you how to do that. But basically, whenever somebody comes to your website, it's going to show up here. So for example, I did have this as the Life Coach and Rebuild Your Life. So I am going to change it. So it's going to say Autumn Life Coaching, change in every season. So change in every season. Yeah, catchy tagline. This is your website address, so at the moment I just want you to leave this as it is. This is a really important thing. So whenever you've got like a contact form, it's going to send you an email notification. So what you need to do is put your email address in here. So for example, I'm going to have ed@websitebuiltbyyou.com. So anytime somebody registers for my site or sends me a message from the site, I'm going to get an email notification. So if you have this as your email address, it may give you an admin at demo2websitebuiltbyyou.com. You might not want that, or whatever your domain is. So you want your primary email address, the email address that you're going to be checking the most regularly. So put that in there. Then your date format, and you can change this to whatever you want. If you're a 24/7 kind of person of wanting the 20 instead of the 8, you can do that. I'm just going to keep these as they are. Your date the way around. I know America, you like to do things a little bit backwards to the rest of the world, or if from an American's point of view, the rest of the world backwards to America. I'll not get into it. Your language and the week you start on. For the moment, this isn't too relevant, but if you like to say your week starts on a Sunday, go for a Sunday. Give you a bit of peace of mind. So we'll save that. And what we want to just go into is our permalinks. So this is a few more steps down. And what you'll see here is these are the URL settings. Now this is going to be very complicated at the moment, but really what happens is whenever we create a page, it's going to come up with a couple of figures of $P = 123. It's a bit complicated. It's a bit hard for us to manage sometimes. So what I want you to do is click post name. So whenever you create a new page, so for example, when we've got this of autumnlifecoaching.com/blog, it's going to come up with our blog page. It's going to be really simple. So we're going to be able to, whatever we call our page names, it's going to come up as this in the website. So if you are going to be using advertising or displaying a blog post, you want that to be a clickable link. You don't want to have to try and remember the combination. Quite clearly, autumnlifecoaching/blog post. As I said, this is just a demo. I've got the website here. This is a completely different website. But here we go. Just for the purpose of the demo, this is it here. We've got all this down here. This is all straightforward as for the moment. And we will come back and we will change a few more general settings as time goes by. But for the moment, that's all we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is go and build our homepage. So we're going to get stuck straight into designing the homepage and straight into doing really all the fun things that happen with designing pages. So what I want you to do is go into Pages, and I want you to go to All Pages. So as you have installed the Click Demo data, you will probably see there are loads and loads of pages. And they probably all look a bit like these. So these have all been added by the template into your website. So the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and delete absolutely every single one of them. Some people do like to take these pages and just edit them as they are. Because we're going to be using a thing called Variant Page Builder, it's just a whole lot straightforward if you just remove everything entirely. So go to all your pages and just click this little Select All link and move to Trash. Now you'll probably have a lot more in your trash, in your all pages than I will. I started doing them and used this for a different website. So I want you to just keep going through and delete all of them. And then what you need to do is go back into your trash folder. So as you can see, I've deleted all the pages here. It looks like there's no pages. I've got other pages in the trash. But what I want you to do is delete all of them as well. Because whenever you actually type your website into Google, these pages still irritatingly come up. So it just means that as you Google, you might actually have your portfolio page, might be the page that actually comes up, but no one can actually click on it. It'll just go to a dead page. So just for the whole purpose, I want you just to go through and delete every single one of these pages. Okay, so here we are. We've got absolutely no pages. We've got no pages on our website. So what better than to actually just start building pages? So what I want you to do is go into a Add New Page. So here we've got our page, and it actually looks nothing like what it looks like over here. This is because this is still what we call the back end. So this is all the kind of the behind the scenes stuff. And I'm going to let you in a little secret. For most of the pages in this website, there's going to be very little of this. And that's going to be so much better for you because you're going to have a lot more control over what you're doing. A lot of websites actually use a lot of this back end. We're not. We're going to be using a lot of the front end stuff. So what I want you to do is go and label this homepage or home or whatever you fancy. So call it homepage, and we just want to click publish. So congratulations, your website actually now has a page. It won't look very good, it will look very blank and empty. So without further ado, it's time to go and edit it. So what I want you to do is click this thing here called Launch Variant Page Builder. So if we click on this, what it's going to do is take us to So now we've got our homepage sorted, and as you can see, there's absolutely nothing on it. So your menu will look a lot like this. It will look slightly different because you've used Stack, and I've changed this for something else. This was a church website that I did. If you want to build a church website, go and look at that other video, but you're a life coach, so this is where you want to be building your life coaching website. So you found yourself in the right place. So here we go. So what we want to do is, up here we've got our two navigation types. So these are going to be our menus, but for the moment we actually haven't edited our menu, so there's nothing really that we want to do. So for the moment, if you want to turn this off, go ahead. This will just leave it completely blank and not distracting at all. If you want to leave it on, you can do. If you feel like I'm not going to get distracted by it while we edit, that's absolutely fine. So, but yeah, so let's go ahead and just start building our website. So the first thing that we're going to add is a new block. So what we've got here are our pages. So we've just got the one home page. Then we want to go into page content, and we want to add a new block. So here we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different blocks that we can add in to our website. So everything that we add using Variant Page Builder is just going to be a block that looks exactly like this. But we've got very specific things that we want to do in mind. So for the very first page, for example, what we've got is just an image, a title, and a call to action. So what I want you to do is go into here and click filter. This will give you a drop down of different covers. And so what I want you to do is click covers, and then you've got a big selection of things that you can add. So for the purpose of this one, we're going to use, let's go cover text one. So basically what it's going to do, it's going to give us an image, it's going to give us a title, and it's going to give us a click call to action button. As you can see here, we've got all the same, just we've got a subtitle as well. So for the purpose of this, I'm just going to copy and paste. And what I want you to do is just, all you're doing here is just clicking the text, just one click, but nope. And we can edit this straight away. So if I just paste this in, and you can type in whatever you want. So John Smith, life coach. There we go. And then create yourself a little subcategory, a subheading as well. Now, because it's the title of your website, what you want to do is highlight this and make sure that it comes up as a heading 1. So all these things here are called headings. And basically, the more important they are to your website, Google reads every single one of these. And the more important they are, the more you want Google to read it. So, and also, this is mostly for your users as well. So this is going to be a much bigger heading than a heading 5, for example. If we use a heading 5, it's going to come up, it's going to be quite small. It's not going to be a nice big wow factor. So you want to make this a heading 1. And while you're on heading 1, if you click heading 1, sometimes it goes into a paragraph. So just make sure that it looks like this. It looks nice and big. So we want our title, or whatever we're calling ourselves, like John Smith Life Coaching, your name, your business name, this is exactly what you want here. And this is just where you want your paragraph as well. Now, as you're in editing everything, you might find that, hey, Ed, I've only got this top bar here as we edit. If you want the second one, just click toggle bar. This will start to help you out a little bit later on with some of the things that we do. But as you click paragraph, I just want you to go into fonts and click lead paragraph. So click that, and it just gives you your height, just gives your text, it just stands out a little bit more. This is just it's a really good thing for whenever we edit text later on, when you've got your headline, your opening paragraph, so your lead paragraph, still trying to entice the reader, and everything else. So here we go. So paragraph, Autumn Life Coaching, changing every season. So I want you to add that in there. And now I can hear what you're saying. You're saying, Ed, it's still in the middle. How on earth do I get it to the side? Why on earth does this say view the demos? I don't want it to say view the demos. I want to hear it to say help me change. Far too easy again. What we do is we just click and we can just edit. Ooh, that's what happens when you double click, and I'll tell you why in a second. We can just highlight all this text and write help me change. So boom. Now I am just going to leave a little appendices there, because we are going to come back to this. At the moment, we haven't actually built our Help Me Change page. So whenever we double click this, we are going to have a page that says Help Me Change, but we haven't created it yet, so we don't know what the URL is going to be. We don't know where it's going to be selected from. So at the moment, just leave a hashtag in there, and it won't click to anywhere, but we just want to leave a little asterisk here just to help us remind ourselves that this currently doesn't have a link. And now what we want to do is click this button here, which is our settings button. So if we click this button, it's going to come up with a little tab like this. So one of the great things about Stack is that we can choose what we want to display on different devices. So if we don't want to have this page on a mobile view, whenever you look on your mobile view, it is going to look pretty different because you're on a mobile. So we can choose to turn these things off if we find that on a mobile view it doesn't look very good. But I always find just keep them on. It'll help. There's nothing on here that's going to be a disastrous for using a mobile phone. So let's just keep all these things on for the moment. Then what we want to do is we want to go and change this image. So if we just click the image, and what we want to do is go and upload a file. So we just select the file that we want. So we go in here. So what we're going to do from here is upload the files that we've selected. So as I said earlier on, if you want to go to Unsplash and download the file that you've decided to use for this particular part of the website. So what you do is you just go into Files, select the file that you fancy. You can upload multiple at a time. I really suggest that you do go into the document. You download all your files first. Sometimes you don't really know what you want to use until you've decided to start building. So if you want to go in and upload, just for the reference, I can upload all these photos if I really want to. Just select all and then push open. I'm not going to take a wee bit of time, and I've already got them in here. And then once you've got them uploaded, you can just go into Media Library and they'll all be here for you, waiting for you, ready to go. So as I said, you can contact me, just register your email address, and I'll be able to send you all these files. As I said, they're free to use. Use as many as you want. Use them all. Use them all multiple times. Why not? Why not have every image the same? So for this background, we're going to use this lovely picture here. So we've got, all we want to do is just use this media. So if we put this in here, and here we go. So we've got this lovely image centered here in the back. And what we can do now is we've got a choice of doing a couple of different things. So this is where we've got our title and our button. So we can choose to put this wherever we want. I just thought, just with the way this image is with the block here, I thought this looked a little bit best over on the right hand side. But if you think, hey, nope, the image I'm using, I want it to be on the left, or hey, I want it to be in the center, you go for whatever you fancy. So you've got a good choice of 3 there. You can't mess this up. This is the beautiful thing about using this template, is you can't actually do something wrong, unless you do something really bad, and in that case, give me a call. So our next option is to choose a parallax if we want that. So as you can see, the parallax is the depth of field visual effect caused by the background image to scroll slower than the page. I'm not going to use it on this part, but I will show you an example when we come to putting the testimonial section in here. I haven't done it on this page for the meantime, so I can't explain to you what it is at the moment. But you know what, I'll go in, once you've got this link, I'll change it so that you can see it straight away. But I'll show you exactly what it does, and then you can decide for yourself where you want to use this feature. You can also now, the option is to use inverted colors. Now the way this kind of works is you've got white text, and there is an image overlay, which is actually a black translucent background. So you can make this as dark as you want, but if you want to make this really dark and decide to go, I'm going to use inverted colors, all it does is switch to white in the background and black text, and you can change this down. So if you want to go for here, I kind of find that it's not anywhere near as good looking as it was before. So for the meantime, I'm not going to use inverted colors. I'm going to keep the background quite light and make my text, the text will get to a point on some images where it doesn't stand out. So it's just making sure that your text stands out as best as it can without really killing the lovely image that you've got in the background. Our next part here, and our final part of just this box here, is the section height. So we can make this as small or as big as we want. So that's our smallest there. And we can make this big, we can make this go all the way down to the full screen. I haven't actually used it in this, but sometimes a good design tip, depending on the image that you're using, this is quite good because it's a really strong, really bold image, and because it comes off the page, it's quite nice to have it nice and big. But sometimes actually, the part where it's called before the fold, which is your website when people have to start scrolling, sometimes it's a really good idea just to leave it a couple of centimeters gap, just so that people realize that they actually have to scroll in your website and don't just start clicking the links up above. So I'm just going to leave this with a little bit of a gap here to show you why I think you should leave it like this. But that is our main title completely done and dusted. So as you can see, we don't have our menu. We can go in here, we can turn this on if we want to put it on standard bar, and you'll see, oh, we don't really like that at all. So we can turn it off for the moment, but as I said, we haven't edited our menu just yet, but you can still see it. See, it still says a church. So I'm just going to turn off the navigation for the moment, and then I'm going to tell you all about how to do that later on. So the next part that we've got is our media. So we go down here, and what we want to do is we want to add a media box. So we want to add our video, and then we want to add our title and a little bit of a text, just a bit of a video overview of why you want somebody to watch the video. Have a bit of a call to action. So what we want to do is add another box. So we just click this. This part here is under media. So if we go down here, we click media, and then we've got all these different options again that we can use. So we've got lots and lots of different video players. If you would like it in the center, you can. If you'd like it to the side, I'm going to go with this video inline 2. So we're going to stick it to the side. And this is where we've got, again, just click on the text, start typing away. You can edit whatever you want. You want to create a catchy title of watch this. It's this. I would go with something a little bit more catchy than that. If you tell someone to watch something, it's probably going to work. Use some of your NLP knowledge on this. This is a really good idea to actually just start. You're going to know more about this than most marketers. Yeah, start using this kind of thing. So here we go. So I've just had take the first step to living the changed life you want to live. My text has gone a little bit corrupt here, so I'm going to show you exactly how to stop this from happening. Really make sure that you read this over, especially before you start creating a live video about it. So what we're going to do is, just for the purpose of this, I'm just going to copy and paste all of this in. And copied and pasted. Yeah, really make sure sometimes your text will just decide it's going to use spaces in between in places where it shouldn't. But yeah, just go ahead and just make sure that that doesn't happen. As you can see here, I've just highlighted a bold word. Sometimes this works really well, sometimes it really doesn't. So we can make it all bold, or we can't. But what I've got here is a heading too, so it's not quite the site header, but it is something that I would really like my website to have a bit of speak volume. I'd really like Google to understand this part. So take the first step to living a changed life you want to live. And what I'm going to have here is watch this video to do just that. And you know what, maybe even just a little texty arrow, so why not? So there we go, and what I've got here is just, this is again in a paragraph, because it's a bold paragraph. What I want to do is just come in to make sure that it's a lean paragraph. So there we go. That's a bit weird. So yeah, so that is that already. There we go. Close that down. So there we go, that's already done. And here we've got, now we don't want this lovely image here, we want to use what is going to be our YouTube thumbnail. So whenever you've created a video, I would really recommend that you go ahead and create your own thumbnail. As you can see that the thumbnail, this is the display that when it comes up on YouTube, it's the picture that people see before they click on your video. Definitely customize one, make it nice and eye-catching, make sure that it stands out. And this is a really good time to use that here. So for the purpose of this, I actually haven't created a thumbnail that I'm going to use for you guys yet, so I'm not actually going to add it. But as you can see, for the purpose of this, I've just used a different image, a bit more of a kind of a bit of a better image, something to work best. You know, you can have this guy on top of a mountain or this guy under a waterfall. For the purpose of this, let's use him. And so yeah, there we go. Something that's going to be nice and eye-catching. But I would definitely use your YouTube thumbnail that you should create. And if you want to learn more about YouTube thumbnail creation, there are plenty of links online. I might even include one down in the description. So if you find that there, go ahead, click that link, and start creating your YouTube thumbnails after you've done building your website. Now here we have all these options again. So all these options once again are found just clicking this little gear here. So let's click it. We've already changed our image. If we want to put our text in a centered format or aligned right or aligned left, we can do that. We can make this as big as small as we want. So if we want to have lots of empty space, we can. I would really recommend that you keep it spaced but tight. You know, there's a bit of a porridge situation here of, you know, too much or too little, but just right. So just having it, you know, not too much. You don't want it to be wide. You don't want all this empty space. You don't want everything to be really compressed. You want it to be nice so that your users can scroll through really nice and clearly. There's a lot of space. There's a lot of, nothing's too jumbled together. They've got time to actually process the information that you're actually giving them, instead of just like whoa, everything's on me. That's the beautiful thing about this video. So here we have different options as well. And the advanced tutorials, you'll see in how to change the advanced settings on Stack. You'll be able to see how you can change all these individual things here. For the moment, I'm just going to keep this white. I might come back and change it, but for the moment I'm going to keep it white. And if I decide that I want my text on the other way around, makes my arrow look a bit shit. But here we go, I can change this all the way around, and I'll just keep that there for the moment, just for having original flipped. As I said, there's nothing that you can do here to really destroy what you're doing. So, and here we have just put your video up into YouTube and just link it here. So it means that whenever somebody watches this, you're going to get your YouTube clip. You're going to be able to, your videos are going to rank better because they're using YouTube. You're still going to get your click for that. You're still going to get your watch time for that. So it's also really helpful, just as people come to here, that they start to watch your videos. This will also help because YouTube will see this as somebody has embedded your YouTube file. So that's also going to help your YouTube video to grow. So if you're looking at really building a solid YouTube platform, definitely embed your YouTube video here. So there's different, I'm not going to, all you're doing is really taking the YouTube file, going in, and all you're going to do is just copy and paste your YouTube video into here straight away, and done. So that's the second part done. We're taking our time. We are taking our time, but we're going to be absolutely flying through this now that you're starting to get the skills of what you're doing. So the next part here is, do you wish you could do life differently? Not the best question in the world, but you're going to do this a lot better than I am. So as you can see, we've got little features here. We've got little gears, little icons that we can use. The part that I used for this was called features. So if we scroll down and we go into, we've got our feature set. So there's a couple of different ones that we can use. These are mostly for, if you've got 3 different things that you want to be able to demonstrate to people that you can do. There's lots of great ones. Even if you wanted to do them here so that people can flick through, I quite like the idea of actually just everyone can see exactly what you're doing. So we're just going to get rid of this one because we've clicked on it. We don't need it. So just by clicking this little red X, and then that gets rid of it. But what we want to do is add this feature set here. So we have features large 11 was what it came up as. And once again, this text, we just click on it and we edit away. So I'm going to copy and paste exactly what I did earlier on. So this time again, we want this to be a header 2. We want this, maybe not quite a lead paragraph this time. It doesn't need to stand out. So we can make that a wee bit smaller. Or we might find, hey, you know what, we do want this to be a lead paragraph. So it's really just, a lot of it is just looking at what you're doing and thinking, do I like how this looks? Yes. Do I not like how this looks? No. I know what I feel looks best for me. That's not going to be exactly the same as what looks best for you. So I've got design, but I've got a very good design background. I've got good design knowledge. So if you want to take my advice, please go for it. But if you also say, hey Ed, I don't like the look of this at all, by all means, I'm not going to judge you. But get in touch with your websites and tell me how you're getting on. And if you want any design tips, by all means, I'm going to be here to help you out along the way. So here we've got, pardon me. So here we've got our tips, basically our 3 features. So we've got little icons here, and we've got a little summary paragraph about them. So, and if you want to add a 4th, you can do just that. So just by duplicating, I've just gone for the 3, but you can have as many of these as you like, and they're just very easily editable. So what we want to do first of all here is, now you can choose whatever icon you think works well with what you're doing. So I've just got make greater life choices. So once again, we're just going to copy and paste this in here. And you can copy and paste this and the headings will come up with what they are. So we've got a heading 5 and just a standard paragraph. As I said, if you want to copy and paste my stuff and then write your own stuff so you're getting the text right, you can. If not, it'll all be built in anyway. So we've got make greater life choices, and the icon I wanted to do was gears. So I'm just going to right click on this button here. I'm just going to go down to choose icon. So now we've got loads and loads of different icons here. We've got hundreds and hundreds to choose from. Sometimes you will have to scroll through to find the one that you want. You might be disappointed, it might not be there. But I guess I was kind of making choices. So I started Googling, I started searching for choice, but there wasn't really anything came up. So I kind of thought, okay, well, either gears, or if I had light bulb, just as somebody thinking, no, not quite. Oh, light bulb. Okay, so some people call light bulb very differently. So for this, for example, yeah, make different decisions. So for a choice kind of thing, ding, light bulb going off. maybe that reads better in my head than it does to you. So we can add that in, or if you whatever you think will work well. And I just want you to go and do that for exactly all three of these. So revise your relationships. Once again, go in, type whatever you want, do your paragraph, and then choose your icon. Right click, choose your icon, and that's there ready for you to do. So just duplicate that 3 times. If you want to do a 4th one, as I said, click the plus. If you want to get rid. So I'm going to leave you to do that, and I'm just going to quickly move on to the next step. You can pause the video if you are following along. And here we have testimonials. So what we want to do is go in here, and we want to click testimonials. Now, there are a couple of different options, and this is where you do have to have a bit of concentration in you. So all of these basically link to what we call the back end. So here we have, if we click this one here, we currently don't have a testimonial feed that contains anything. So what we need to actually do here is, first of all, we need to save our site. And we need to go into the back end. And I'm going to show you how to do this in a second. And we go back into WordPress. So actually, I'm going to show you how to do this now. So for the purpose of this, we've saved our site. Always make sure you save the page before leaving. It will auto-save every 2 minutes, but I'm definitely every time. So just gonna go back into WordPress. And what we want to do is go into testimonials. So if we go in here, and you may have loads of testimonials. I currently have deleted all mine, but I've got some of the trash, so maybe I want to just restore this. So here we've got, you will have all of these ones here. These have come with stacks. So just for the purpose of this, I'm just going to go back and restore this. I'm going to restore Gabby as well. And I'm going to restore this fella. Okay, so that's enough. What I'm going to do is go back into my pages. Oh, sorry, no, I'm going to stay there. I'm going to click in testimonials. And what you'll see here is you can then edit these testimonials. And there's about 4 things that you need to do here. You need to give them a title. So who are they? What's their name? What's their job title? Now this can be a job title. So if you want to have, your freelance entrepreneur, or starter of Tech Club Weekly, starter of websitebuiltbyyou.com. Great website. Or you can just have a location. So this is just going to be a little thing below them. And then here you've got exactly what their testimonial is. So you can write this in here, and then it'll be edited. So you can do all this, and then it just means it's going to come up in different formats, as you'll see. Give it a category if you would like, and add the image here by just clicking on the image. What we can do is, we can click one of these images if we fancy to add it in there. I'm just going to, for the purpose of not damaging too much property, going to go back into my all pages, and we're going to edit with Variant Page Builder. So now that we've come back into the website, if we scroll down, you can start to see that all our testimonials are now back in, and we can use them. And we can use really whatever we want because we've edited them in the back end. If we want to put a big testimonial slider here, we can. If we want to not use an image, and that's exactly what I've done with this testimonial right here. We've just been able to sort of go in, and we can add as many of these as we like. If we go down here, we can just add 1. So if we just want 1 of them, yeah, there we go. There's our lovely testimonial. And as I said, there's different ones you can use if you've got 3 or 4 that you want to add and have them all there. If you want them all to be in a slider format, you can flick them and they'll all go through. Or you can just have one of them just listed there. So there's different options that you can use, and depending on where you're up to with your business and how many testimonials you've got, you can go ahead and use as many as you like. So I'm just, for the demonstration, just going to keep this here. I've only got the 1 testimonial, which isn't even a real testimonial, about my life coaching career, which has lasted all of about 90 seconds so far. Sorry, what are we up to? About 30-40 minutes in this website so far. So what you want to do is you want to edit this in the back end. So if we go back and we go back into the save the page, back into exit WordPress. What we want to do is go into testimonials. And I'm going to show you exactly how to build one from scratch. So if we go to delete these, what we do is add a new testimonial. We put a name, so it's going to be John S. We're going to type in our testimonial. That's exactly what it is there. This job title. Where's he going to be from? He's going to be from Ireland. Let's just Ireland, and let's set a featured image. And yeah, okay. So let's use let's use this lovely lady. It's a guy. It's John. So let's use this lovely fellow right here. Probably as Irish looking as it gets. And if we want to add a new testimonial category, we can have just if you want to split all your categories into different things. But I'm just going to call this category John, and he's labeled as John. This just helps with a little bit of organization depending on how many you're going to use. And like if we go back up into here, we go back into our pages, we launch Variant Page Builder. We scroll down, there he is, John. So he's been done. So if there's only one that we want to show, we just select the category that we have and we click John. Otherwise, it's just going to show all of them. And if you haven't gone through and deleted all the ones that are already there, then those are going to pop up and people are going to be like, why are you selling me stack on your website? The reason why I'm selling you stack on the website is because I'm telling you should use stack, and all the links, as I said, well, you've already got the package. What am I talking about? So here we go. And if you wanted to use John with the image, so testimonials, and let's say we want to use John here. There he is. He's going to pop up in a nice little square there, and so for the purpose of this, I'm not going to use him, but we can just go in here. We change the image to something really nice. What did we have? Had the leaf. Grab the leaf. Pull her in, and as you can see, you can make this again as big or as small as you want. Let's go down into auto. So auto there. How bright do we want it? How dark do we want it? Probably about there is good. So for the moment, I'm going to turn this on to parallax, and I'm going to show you exactly what that does in a second. We've got our quantity to show. We've got John. Do we want inverted colors? No, we don't. Do we want it all over here? Over here? I like the center. And that's your testimonial all done and dusted. So as I said, best to edit your testimonials in the back end, and then in the front end, we can stick them straight in because they're already going to be there. What's next? We've got our programs. So if we go in here, what we want to do is add a shop. So this is where the e-commerce side of your platform can happen. So the way we're going to set up your programs is in shop, so people can directly buy them if you want. If you don't want that, that's more than okay. We can have them as just categories for people to look at. As you can see here, there isn't actually a call to action button on here. I've kind of had it so that people don't just click on this and try to take it to a checkout. So as you can see, even just by clicking add to basket, there isn't a basket there installed. I'm going to show you again in the advanced tutorial exactly how to do that. But for the meantime, if you set it up as a product, you'll be able to. It means that when it comes to the advanced tutorial, you're going to be set up and ready to go. So stay tuned for that tutorial. Register with your email address, and you'll be the first to know as soon as it's out. It's not going to be too long, so I'm not going to keep you waiting too heavily. I just want you to not be scared off by doing too much just too quickly. So here we go. So for this, I've only got two different products that I want to have, and currently I'm selling iPads and cameras and speakers and all kinds of lovely things. So there's nothing we can do here at the moment until we go back into the back end. So what we're going to do is we're actually, believe it or not, just going to leave that as it is. We're going to click Save Page. And then we're going to go back into WordPress. So into the back end, into the scary dark place that we don't really know what's going on. But here we go. So what I want you to do is, because we've installed WooCommerce, what I want you to do is go down into Products and click Products. So all of these will have been already installed in the template that you've been given. And once again, what I want you to do is click on them all and go in, move them to the trash, and be done with them. So into the trash again. I think it's worth deleting permanently. But actually, let me just show you what this actually looks like if we go in. So let's restore just one of them. So the Apple iPad. Let's go here and edit. So there's lots of different things. So as you can see, we've just got bit of Latin here because we're not going too much detail into it. What I want to do is just have your relationship. I'm going to click off the categories for the moment because we're going to completely set this up again in a second. But this is when you can set your price if you've got let's say a $4,000 package, or maybe it's just a $40 package. Make sure you've selected your currency by going into the settings. You can go into the WooCommerce settings and change your currency in there. So for this, I'm gonna have just keep it at 900 pounds price, but my sale price, and you can actually schedule this to happen. So if you want to go in and stick a date on there, and I'm gonna have my sale from this week to this week because I know I'm gonna have lots of adverts going towards this page, you can do this really easily. So you can set a price. If you don't want a price, just get rid. So just clear it all out, have nothing there. You'll have to cancel this as well. But for the moment, $7.99, 900. Oh, $7.99. There we go. So then what we have is our stock list now, because our coaching package is not. I really hope it's not. You don't have a warehouse full of coaching packages. You might have some content, but this isn't something that you need a stock level management. So we can skip all that, skip all this as well. We're not actually shipping anything solid. If you are shipping anything solid from a life coaching package, let me know because I'm just going to be really intrigued. So sign up with your email address and send me a quick shout out and say, this is actually what I sell with one of my packages. Just because I'm really curious to see, and would love to, if you need any help with that, let me know. So link products, if there's any upsells, for example, or cross sells, you can read all about this, but this is very much more to do with your click structure. I'm not going to add anything like this. No attributes as well, just a custom attribute there. Nothing in the purchase note. Everything's just standard here. So what we have here is we have two little bits. This is a kind of the main paragraph of your heading, but this is the main part here. So this is the short product description. So this is where you want to, and you can make these exactly the same. There's no problems. I made mine ever so slightly different. So this is just like an introduction up here. So the introduction paragraph is up here. And then this is your product description. So this is maybe where you want to have some of your bullet points, some really crystal cut instructions, crystal clear instructions. There we go. How many crystals do you know that are cut? Okay, and then with all these page override settings, with all these, it can just be completely as they are. Anything, whenever it comes to any of these pages, we're not going to be doing any overrides for this, so we can just keep everything as is. If you want to add an image of your product, which for our example is just going to be stock footage, so this was our relationships. I want you to go in here, add it. What I want you to do is add a new category as well. So if we have life coaching packages, we add this category. And we also want this to be under relationships. So relationships. And the parent category is going to be life coaching packages. Now, let's add this in here. So that means that we can copy this under two different things. So whenever it comes to setting up what we want to show in our home page, what's going to happen? We are going to ask it to show certain things. And what we want it to show is our relationship packages. We don't want it to show anything else. Maybe you've got different packages that you want to add to your website, but not necessarily display just yet. You can keep them in here. You can create them, but just uncheck them and they won't be updated. So here we go. So that is our relationship package there, ready to go. So what I want you to do is just update that. And if we go back into our products here, let's just go back into our trash products and delete all of them permanently. So there we go. We've got the one product. What we want to do is go back into our pages, homepage, edit with variant page builder. And here we go. Here is our life coaching package. So it will have the tags up here. You can uncheck that if you don't want those tags, or you can label your sections into something different. For the purpose of this one, I actually got rid of them. I thought I don't really like the look of that. But I think this is a really clear way of doing it. You've got your price there. Your sale price will come on automatically if you set it up. And what we want to do here is we want to make sure that this shows how many we want. So we are going to have 2. And all we want to do is show the package that we want, so life coaching packages. And what happens whenever we create another package and we put it under the category life coaching package, it's going to come up automatically. So if you only want to show 2, or you have only got 2, but let's say you've got 2 but you want to create 6, just leave 6, leave it open. So it means every time you create a new package, it's just going to show the first 6. So it'll really help when it comes to showing off your packages in there. And if we want to change the background, we can. I'm going to keep this white. How big do we want it? We'll keep it fairly slim. Now, what you're probably wondering, there's not really anything clear here that says packages. So I'm going to give you a bit of an option here. What I want you to do is you can go back in, add a new block. And what we're going to add is a title. So we've got different title blocks here. And you can create them in any shape or form that you would like. And sometimes you just need it, and we need a little section title. So it does come underneath. If we go into here, if we close our title box and we just drag the section title up above our shop, this gives us the option to start and write packages or whatever you want. Courses, I know that my girlfriend, who's a life coach, prefers not to call them packages, prefers not to call them courses as well. There's certain things that she'll call packages and courses, but for her website, she didn't use any of that slang. It's just really whatever you're comfortable with, and making sure everything is as you see it. So if we want to have a subheading, we can. I'd really make sure if you are changing the color, because you want this part to be a part of your shop, you don't want it to be a different color because it's going to look like a brand new part. So if we change that color, we want to make sure that we change this color as well so that it flows in. And maybe we're going to select this, stick it to the other side, and you can start to see you're going to start to get pretty quick at doing all these things now. So now all we want to do is add a contact menu at the very bottom. Now this is up to you if you would like to do this or not. Some people prefer not to because you kind of want that very last click to be one of these packages, and that's very much okay. Sometimes people need a little bit more information, and although they do have the option to go and click this help me change, we really want that to be a bit more of a call to action, but we also have the contact page right at the bottom for people just to merely get in touch. But if you want your very last click of the page to be one of your packages, then by all means just go ahead and leave this part, and we'll go on to the next part, which is our About Me section. But I'm going to show you how you can add the contact part. So what we can do is we go and add yet another box. We go here, and this is under contact. Where is it? There we go. So we've got lots and lots of different options here. if you are okay, like if I know a lot of life coaches work freelance, for example, but if you do have an office, you do have a map, and you prefer just your map to have your details and actually have a clickable Google map to go to, then that's a really fine thing to do. If you want to just go to that map, all you do is just under the address, type in your address, and then you're going to be able to use that use that that reference point to edit where you want people to go to and have your details here. But if you want a bit more of a click through contact map, that's absolutely fine. We're just going to get rid of this map here to begin with. So let's get rid of that. Let's go in and we'll add our contact map. So let's go into contact, and for this one, we're just going to use. So actually, we're gonna use an image for this one. So form text big one. Here we've just got our text. I haven't used an image for this one, but let's change something. So have a title and a subtitle. Have a little bit more than this. If you want a free consultation, if you're selling anything for free, this is maybe a good time to use something quite big and bold, a lot more about what they're getting, a couple of bullet points, but submit your details. This is, again, it's up to you. Be creative of what you want to do. Go with whatever you feel is right for your marketing standpoint. We can go in, or we can change our image. So if we go in here, we can click whatever we like. So we can use whatever we like, standard image, but I'm just going to keep this as it is. But what you can see here, we use this form using the selection sidebar. So what we have to do is we have to go in and we have to select a contact form. Now you can create this form yourself, but I actually suggest that you use one of the forms that have already been created. There's plenty there, plenty for you to choose from. It's just because there's actually a little bit of coding that's involved in this. You can figure it out nice and well. I would definitely, if you want to play around with that part of the software, you can. But this is where you can have just your complex email sign up. So if you want to have, it's just going to load up here. So your name, your email address, and password. We don't want to use a password, and we also don't want to have terms and conditions. So if we go back in here, and let's say we want to use subscribe horizontal 3. So your name, email address, and phone number. I think that's a really great way to have everything. Do we want this terms and conditions? Well, if you've got a terms and conditions, that's absolutely fine. You can input that easily by, all you're going to do is create a new page, create a hyperlink in here. This will come up as a hyperlink, but I actually don't want to do that. So subscribe horizontal 3, so that's what we've chosen. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go back into here. And we're just going to make sure we've used subscribe horizontal 3, and we're just going to have to save this for one moment. So save our page, and we're going to go into our contact section. So if we jump back into WordPress, and here we go into contact. And it's going to be one over. So find the one that you chose of vaguely what you want. So subscribe horizontal 3, this is what we had. We just want to edit this. And as you can see, there's an awful lot of coding. We really don't want this. We don't want lots of this. And so this is why I'm suggesting that you actually really try and understand exactly what you're doing before you go and edit. But just to get rid of your terms and conditions, if you just take this line out, take that, take this, and take this. So you can see very clearly how to do that. Let's just make sure that that actually works for our page. So we go back in, we go, save it first. Let's make sure we save this form before we do anything else. So that's it saved. Pages, all pages. Edit with variant page builder. I've just right-clicked there and opened it in a new tab. So it means that you've got one tab being the back end, one tab being the front end. Let's scroll all the way down, and as you can see, it's taken away our terms and conditions part. So it means that we're able to just, whenever we put this on, all the buttons will come up here, everything will look nice and fresh. But yes, it's gotten rid of our next little part there. So go ahead, change any text you want from here, change your contact form in the back end. It's really good to watch a tutorial on changing the contact buttons in WordPress first before you do anything, just so that you have a little bit more of an idea of what's actually going on. So go ahead, change everything, but that is our first page done and dusted. So the next part is to create our About Me section. So save this page, vitally important. So that's everything all done and dusted for our homepage. We're now able to move in to the next section. But what I did tell you was I'm going to show you exactly what parallax meant. So if we just click View and Tab, if we right click on this and open up a new tab, what it's going to do is it's just going to show us exactly the page that we've just built. But it's going to show you as if it appears live, which actually it is currently live right now. So what I want you to do is just go down. As you can see, parallax means that the image just scrolls slightly slower than the rest of the page. So it's a good way of just having your image very stationary, and it's a nice little effect. It's really nice for testimonials and middle of the line images, just so it looks a little bit different. So that's exactly what parallax is. If you want to use that option on anything, you can by just selecting it. So that's easy enough to do. But what we're going to do is we're going to go back in and we're going to now start to create the next part of our website. This is going to be the About Me section. Now, you can do one of two things. You can go into Pages here and go to Add New Page. And this is where you can add a new page here. Or if you're already in Variant Page Builder, you can add the page here. Now, I'm going to tell you which things to add as pages, which pages to add as blog posts. As you know, that one of our things already is a product, so it's really one is a testimonial. So it's really interesting. It's really good to start to familiarize yourself with which things do different things. But for this, we just want to add a new page. So this new page is going to be About Me. So we want to publish this. We can go straight in and edit that in Variant Page Builder. So if we just click on this, going to come out of Variant Page Builder in this one actually, since I've used it in a different tab. So the About Me page. So what we want to do is we want to create a cover. So for this page we have got this is the cover to choose. So what I want you to do is go into covers, select. You can select any one of these. Again, I'm going to tell you to select cover text 1. And you're going to go back in up here. You're going to select your image, the image that you're going to use. So, so let's search for Passed Out Woman Running. There she is. And there we go. So there's our image. And what we can do here is, once again, change our text. So we have About Me, how will I help you? So we want to copy that. About Me, how will I help you? So I've used this as a heading 1, use this as a heading 4, and let's save that. Now what you see here is another call to action button. Now in the demo we haven't used a call to action button here, we've just used this as a title. So if you want to just, first of all, close this box down. If you want to right click on this button, you can either edit the link, clone, or you can remove. If you want to change the colour so it's not a filled colour, you can as well, but I'm just going to click remove. So that gets completely rid of that button, which means that it's up to us whether we want to display our title here, here, or here. For the purpose, you know what, I'm going to use it over here this time, just to keep things different. So we've got the choice of a parallax. Oh, I never actually showed you what parallax was. So if we actually go in here and we actually go save this page. So that's the About Me title page already done and ready to go. So what we want to do is, if we just look at this, so there's a couple of different things that we can do. As you can see here, I've actually edited this in the back end. So what we're going to do, and because you are a team member, we're going to create this in a thing called team members. So if we go into team, so you might be a one-man team, or you might be a one-woman team, or you might be a team of about 5 or 6 people, and you want to do as many of these. So if you're on a partnership or you're a company, this applies straightly to you as well. This is where you can have your About Me page. Now, this is going to be slightly different. This was for a church that I did, so this isn't what we want to use. But we're going to go and create one of these, but we have to do it in the back end. So what I want you to do is just save this page. We're going to jump into the back end of WordPress, so in this tab. And what I want you to do is go into Team Members and Team Members. And first of all, what I want you to do is delete all the team members who are already there. So delete all of them. And as I said before, once they are in your trash, you want to delete them from your trash, just so that they don't start appearing on your Google search and all your search engines, and then just have a lot of broken links to have to go to. So delete all of those as well. And what we want to do is we want to go down into team categories. And once again, we want to delete all the team categories that are already there. I just want to show you, for anybody who is in either like a business partnership or a work partnership, what I want you to do is just, for everybody, I just want you to create a section. So this is going to be staff, and I just want to create that there. And you can, if you are just a freelancer, or just your own person and this is your company, that's fine. You don't have to do this, but maybe it'll just help you if you start hiring some extra employees. And if you want to have your staff members, so what I would do is actually just have start creating different titles like managers, staff members, admin, anybody like this. But for you, just have your so me if you are single, because that's exactly who you are. Now this won't be too apparent because we've only got the one staff member, so Stack is going to figure it out pretty quickly of who's going to be the one we want to display. But because we've got different ones, it will come up with different categories showing all our different categories. But because we've just deleted them, we should be fine. Stack is going to realize who it is. So in our About page, we've got Joe Smith, just the character that I am using for this tutorial. So Joe Smith, that's the name of our team member. And what we want to do is we just want to write everything about her. So what I had here is just, all we're doing here is doing everything just in this block here. Now you can do this if you want to do this differently in the front section. For example, of just launching variant page builder and just building block and block and block, you can. I just think this is nice, crisp, clean and simple because you're just showing the information that you want. So what I would do is just, as you're in here, create something, give it a heading 2, give it a nice title. So I'm going to stick a heading 2 on that there. Oops. So as you can see, I'm starting to play around and start to get a bit panicky because I don't want this to be bold. I definitely don't want this to be a heading 2, so I'm just going to make this a paragraph and bold it. And if I want to put in a quote, this is maybe a really good thing to have. So I googled just a quote about change. So if you don't like something, change it. And if you want to make this a quote, you can just either, it's not going to stand out if it's in the middle there. So if you just click quote, it's going to create a bit of space. It's going to change the text setting, and you're going to have a nice different approach to that. So there we go. And create more paragraph. Start writing about who you are. And then for this part here, whatever your qualification is, if you're a master practitioner, what your job title is. This is actually your job title. So as opposed to the last time we did this. So what is your job title? And what we want to do is also select an image of yourself. So this is us. This is Joe. She's a budding photographer. And all we want to do is publish. So if we go back into our edit, as you can see, nothing has changed yet. But if we just click here and refresh the page, remember we've saved our page, always important to do so. And as you can see, Joe Smith has now come up here. So we've just been able to change everything, and everything's just sunk to the left for some reason. And we want to go in and make sure that that hasn't happened. So we've added our image. If we want to just select me under staff members, we can do. So just so you'll have a bit. And then what we're going to do is just publish this. So either update or publish. So there it is. There's your link as well, team member / Joe Smith. And here we go. Oh, it's usually what you have to do is just update this if it hasn't already. I already had, must have auto-saved itself during the process. And there we have, yeah, Joe Smith changing. So that's everything there. You can, so as you can see here, we actually maybe want that to drop that down. So all we want to do is just go down here, put just another space, a line break in, and that should register. Then just update and everything will be done. And if you find that that's just a little bit too back and forth for you, what you can do is just get rid of that and maybe stick just a text box. Text, here we go. So there's plenty of lovely ones here. So you can write all your information here, stick an image in here by just going in here, clicking on the image. You can just take this image away, click on Add Media. And it's just whatever you fancy. I quite like the back end just because it keeps everything, I guess, a little bit consistent in some ways, but it just means that I'm able to update it if there are any changes, and add second staff members in the same format. But you can do that if you would like, and just start editing away, change the text to wherever you want it, and change all your images exactly the same style format as we did earlier. Parallax if you want it. But for the meantime, I'm just going to get rid of that, and that's going to be the About Me page. And so our next page that we want to build. And so for the next page that we want to build the About NLP page. So we've saved this page. Let's save that. What we can do is go into Pages. We've got About Me. Now what we want to have is About NLP or About Life Coaching, whatever you fancy. So whatever you would like your readers to read this as. So About Life Coaching. And we can edit this in Variant Page Builder. If we go up here, we can refresh this. With Variant, if you do anything in the back end, you do have to refresh the page before anything comes up here. But we can just launch this in Variant Page Builder again. Bring this back out. And there we go. So once again, we're just going to do exactly what we did last time of creating the cover. So we go into covers. I like to keep everything nice and consistent here. So cover text 1. We're going to fly through this. Click our image. What was the image that we used for NLP? So if we go up here and we used About Me and then About NLP. So how will that help? So we had a nice little forest there. So we can do whatever we want. We've got this road here. I'm just going to copy and paste again. We right click, remember, to remove our call to action buttons. And there we go. And we can make this as dark or as light as we want. Let's make it like there. Change your text if you want it over here. It's always good to keep it consistent, especially if it's under the same menu. If we had the last one over here, we want this one over here. If we want them both up there, that's fine. We can change the section height again. Let's try and keep it fairly consistent. It was about there. And yeah, we're ready to go. So that's, as you can see, we've already done our image within a couple of seconds. Then what we want to do is I'm going to show you how to use this features item. So if we go into large features, this is basically just, oh, sorry, no, it's not in features. So it is under tabs. So we want to go into tabs, and there's different ways that you can display all your findings of what is NLP, what is, how does NLP different from counseling, what is a life coach, for example, all these different questions that people might have, and you can put them into different tabs like these. So this is a little bit different to what I used. So I just used these tabs here. So it has a nice little effective when it comes to scrolling the difference. Just type. This is just where all you do is you just click the text and you type in your information in there. So I'm just going to leave these as they are for this, but all you're doing is taking it away, typing in. I'm just going to discard those changes. I've used a slightly different one. Usually for the last one I just use text, but if you want to use this one, again you can search your icons as well. If there's something, so for the very first one it was NLP coaching. If you can find a coach, for example, this is where, depending on the niche, depends on what icons you'll be able to find. I'm probably not going to find too many great coaching related icons, so maybe it's best to get rid of that and just go into the horizontal tabs. And all we do is we just click, and what was our first title? NLP coaching. NLP coaching. So we just write about NLP in there. And if we want to add more, we can add more. If we want to add 5, we can add 5. If we want to take one back away, so we can add as many of these as we like. And just very much double click to edit. Just one click will let you type away. So it's a really, really easy way to do it. If you want to start adding some media into your posts, so for example here we do have a bit of a gap and we want to add an image, we can do that really easily by just adding media and maybe just a nice little breakup image, or where's your man? There he is, up on top of a rock. The image will come in. There he is. Oh, not a very good image. There it is. So we just, depends on what kind of image, what size of image you're using. So that hasn't worked at all. So if it comes up like this, so if we want to add an image, say for example between these two bar graphs, we just come in here, we can click here, say we want our image to be there. All we want to do is just add an image. So if we add, this guy looks pretty awesome. Put that into the post, give it a second. Oh, hasn't really worked, so. And if we want to add an image, we can do that really clearly by just coming in here, making a bit of room, selecting, and then all we do is we just insert an image straight in there, and just click add into post. But I've just kept mine just as text. So that's our NLP page. So that's looking really nice and trendy, really, really great looking. And it's time to go back to our products page. Now, if we see here, if we go into View tab, if we just right click and open that, this is going to be our live website. So this is exactly how things are looking. So if we go into, remember our menu isn't quite set. So let's just go into our home page for the moment. Oh, so this is the page that we're currently created. This isn't the finished product. This is the one that I've been walking you through now. But if you click on this link, as you can see, our relationship is already completely done and dusted for us. So we're able to actually, as I said, we've already created this. So we don't actually need to create a new page for it or anything. So it might get a little bit confusing when you're looking to go and edit your page and you'll find that in WordPress it's not actually under all pages, but what you will find that it is under products. So it's just a case of remembering what you've labeled certain things as. So yeah, your relationship here, this is where you can go, you can add this to your basket, and then once you've been set up with your cart, so we can then view your cart, and it'll take you, once we do the general settings, it'll take us to the appropriate pages, but that's all to come in the advance, so don't get too excited about that just yet. So you can add to cart. So then you can view your cart, but as I said, this is something we're going to leave to the advance. I'm not going to drill you down with these details just yet. This is going to come in the advanced tutorial, so do stay tuned for that. If you want that, stick your email address into the link below, and you'll be able to receive that tutorial straight to your email. But let's crack back on. So we're back into, as I said, into our products. So what we want to do is add the next product. So it was our programs, and it was just environment. Now, a lot of my stuff is about change, and it's about this wasn't as I came across this, I was like, okay, actually, I don't want this to be like a global environmental impact. No, this is changing the environment, but you'll know exactly what to call your packages a lot better than I can, because you're the ones doing this line of business. So what we want to do is go back into our products, or we want to add a new product. As I said, easily done. So just exactly as we did last time with our last product, we want to call it environment. We want to find the category. So if we click life coaches, and there we have environment, we can add that new category. Okay, we can do that another way as well, which I'll show you how to do in a second. But this is again where we come in, we stick our text. So this is going to be our main part here. So we come in, stick the text here. We've got our nice heading 3, our text here, then our product description, which for the case of this, and if you want to just copy these, you can do this nice and easily by just copy and pasting this. That means you've got my headers that I've used all ready to go. What's your price for this one? Again, we want it just to be 100. Sale price $7.99. Do we want to have a schedule? Let's schedule this for this time. So if you're watching it during this time, you'll actually see that the sale price will have dropped down. If it is something that's downloadable, you can do this by then just adding the file. If there is content, if you want to sell stuff that only costs $10, $15, for example, this is exactly how you do it. So just by adding the name, adding the URL, again, shopping, this has all been done in the advanced tutorial, but just giving you a little sneak preview of what's to come. So if we go back into, let's get rid of that. So back into our product, we don't have any reviews just yet. So if we go back here, we've got everything ready to go. All we need to do is add a product image. And if you want to add images of any content, you can do that by using the image gallery. So what did we use for this? We use this one here. Add images to product gallery. So if you've got some content that you want to, that comes with this package, for example, a bit of an interactive course structure, go ahead and do it. If you want to add some tags, for example, viral or change work. Just if you have hundreds of courses, this is a really great place to just add little tags like this. You can add as many of these as you want. And we just want to go ahead, we want to publish this. And there it is. So what we want to do is just go into products and go into categories. So we can see we tried to add, we want to delete all these categories apart from life coaching and relationships. Did our last category create? No, it did not. So delete all of these. And we want to just put environment. And we want our parent to be life coaching packages. So if we just select life coaching, that'll help keep everything under this category. So that's all good to go. And so if we go back into our pages, we go into our home page and we just click view page. So if I right click and view the page, what should have happened, it should have just reappeared right there. So our package is there ready to go. It's really important that whenever we go back into Variant Page Builder, like here, that you make sure that in the section, everything is created in the right place. So for example, we go into this section part here, you want to have life coaching packages. If you've just selected relationships, it's only going to show the relationship tag. So what we want is life coaching packages, and that is that page already well and truly done. So we've got our programs, we've got our about, we've just got to make a blog and our call to action page. So let's save this. And what I want you to do is go back into the back end of WordPress. Ooh, wrong page. And so what I want you to do is go in and it's time to create a blog. So this is going to be under posts. So if we go into posts here, and you will have loads and loads and loads of different posts. And once again, I just recommend you delete everything, move to the trash. I've already deleted those and put in some different ones. And what I want you to do is just go into trash and delete all your posts. So we've got our posts, but what we want to do is create our blog page. So if we go here, we want to, actually, first of all, we want to let's add one of our posts. So if we go in here to our blog, and as you can see, I've got 3 blog posts here. So I'm just going to click on this first one. So this is the blog post that I've written. As you can see, fluent in Latin. Actually, I've just selected everything on the side. I'm just going to select this here. All I'm doing is selecting the text. So if you type your post into your Word document, or whatever you're doing, let's just copy and paste it in. So if you want to start selecting, type it here, and just put all your blog text in here. Everything else that we have is just going to be completely done for us. So what we want to do is go in, and we've just got standard blog post. We want to create a category, and we want this to be, what did I have? I created a category called journal. So you can create that, or you can put it under different things. So if you want it to be under change coaching, you can create many different products. So I'm just going to put this under, actually let's put this under relationships, just for the purpose of the demonstration. So relationships is selected. If you want to add some tags, so these are different tags that will mean that when somebody's reading a post, it'll show all your other blog posts that are very similar, using different tags. So relationships, for example, that's a really good one to use. Anything else that is related to the blog of changing your life. If it's dog and cat theology, for example, you get a picture. Anything that's related to your blog post, just type it in. Set your featured image. So this is the main title. This is the kind of the hero image picture that you're going to be using. So I'm going to use this fella here. So there he is. And if you want to add any images into your blog post, you can do that really nice and easily just by add media. Click. There's a lovely leaf. There it is. So that's gonna appear in our blog as well as we go, and that is everything ready to go. Again, no need to touch these changes here. Add your tags, add your image. What I want you to do is just click publish, and then we've got ourselves a blog post. But now we need to create the actual blog post page. So if we go into our programs view, our blog. So we've got our blog here, and you can see we've got, what we want is to create this page where we got people that they can come to our blog and then select any different one of our currently 3 blog posts, but for you it could be 300,000, how many blogs you decide to write. So what we want to do is go into, oh, sorry, I actually forgot something. You want to give your blog post a title. So the title I give my blog post was, I can't change the direction of the wind and set my sails, but I can adjust my sails to that direction. You want to make sure that you've added this as a title. Really, really important. So do that. And if you click update, and as you can see here, we've got this URL that, because we've already posted the page without a title, it's given one for us. So we actually also just want to, without any full stops or commas, we want to go in and we want to edit the hyperlink of this post. So just to change this, we don't want this title to be in here, just so it doesn't come up twice. Let's maybe make this a lead paragraph. Yes, that was all my bad. So get rid of any full stops. This just, as well, for an SEO point of view, is a really, really great addition, because the more Google sees that your article is like the hyperlink, the higher it's going to rank. So there we go. Let's update that. Oh, there we go. So we're currently on our homepage, just there. So let's go. And yeah, so this is our blog post title, but what we want to do is go and create the blog post page. So let's go to add pages, add a new page, blog, publish our blog post page, add a new page. And what we want to do is, first of all, create a title. So again, we're going to go back to exactly the same cover that we've used for every single one of these. So it's going to be cover 1 text. Let's change our image. What did we have? Was it these trees here? Oh well, that's what we're going to use. It wasn't, but it'll do. And what we want to do is just type in exactly what we had. So blog, changing lives, a nice title for a blog. So we can copy and paste this. Changing lives. Okay. What we want to do is just remove our hyperlink. We've got no need for it. And this is a nice cover for our blog. And now what we want to do is save our page. We want to add in a blog section. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can add your blog. So if we go in here, we can either add our blog to be sort of in a horizontal format that it scrolls all the different blogs just down here. So it actually gives you a chance to read all the blogs just on this little page. I prefer to have a nice, what we call the magazine format. There's different blog cards as well that they'll all show up like this. You've got your logo. I think the magazine format is by far and away the nicest. So blog magazine. So that will come up and that will give you your huge header there. It'll give you all your tags that you use, so all the categories that you use across here. And people can search by category if they want, which is brilliant. And you'll be able to show your blog posts there. So it's a really great way, and it also means that people coming to your blog post, for example, if you've linked them from there, they'll be able to come in here. They've still got all these things. They can still see your help me change button. They can still see your home and about. They're going to be able to read so many great things about you. So that's what I want you to do for creating every single blog post that you ever write. If you need help on just what formatting to use, you can copy and paste all this in to the back end of WordPress and all the formatting. Just keep it the same. Save it. Launch it in Variant Page. Launch the blog post page in Variant Page Builder. Just put your link into the bar and see how it looks on screen. One thing that I would really make sure that you don't do So as we save this, if we come back in, so it's saved. So if we come back into any of our pages that we've created in Variant, we've got this page here saying this page has been created with Variant Page Builder. If we can't add anything into this section here, we can delete all the Variant content and start writing in here. But for the pages I've told you to create with Variant, I would definitely recommend that you create with Variant. If you want to create all your pages, like blog posts, everything, go ahead, be my guest, create them in Variant. But what I would get you to do is, just make sure that when it comes to launching your blog post page, use all the pages that I've told you to use Variant for, and just continue to use that strategy. Okay, so here we go. This is our final page. This is our Help Me Change page. So as you can see, this is up in the menu, nothing different than just creating a brand new page. So what we want to do, add a new page. And we're just going to call this Help Me Change. Publish it and do nothing but launch in Variant Page Builder. Once it's published, don't get before it's published. So there we go. Demo's up. Here we go. So all we've got in our Help Me Change part is just one section. So you're literally just a couple of clicks away from having your website done and dusted. How bloody exciting is that? So let's go straight away. And for this, I used a cover. So we've got different, there can be many different options that you want to use. For this part, I feel the best looking one was, let's go in here and we just scroll down and there's different covers, but it's cover form 4. So I click this and all I've done here is you've already changed one thing. Let's keep going. So you can add any contact details that you've got here. You can add an email address, so ed at website built by you.com. You can add all these different things in here. I'm going to remove this call to action button, so we can remove this. And what I'm going to do is, once again, we're going to use this contact form. Now I'm going to use the same contact form that we did earlier. So just your first name, use something. So what I'm going to do is go into here and use one of the contact forms that we've used earlier on. So we can either use this one here, or we can go in and let's use our horizontal 3 again. So voila, so we've got name, number, and this is where, again, just your final little instruction. So register for your free consultation and coffee. I don't know if you are the kind of life coach that knows. Make sure that you edit it in the Variant Page Builder part. So register for your free consultation. And if you like to give coffee to your clients, and a coffee. So whatever you fancy, this is literally, I'm just filling up space for text. All I do is select this. I can make all my text centered if I fancy, to the one side, to the left, to the right. I'm going to keep all my text centered for this. I'm going to change the image. And I just use the same image as the home page for this. So straight back in. Put that image up. I'm going to make it a little bit darker just so that this form here stands out a little bit more. And then what we want to do is we can flip the layout if we fancy. I feel that little design tip, everybody reads from left to right. So having the thing that you want them to sign out on the left is a really good idea. But if you do have like instructions, maybe it's best to have on the right. So some people will say left or right. I kind of like to have, you've already changed one thing, let's keep going. And then this is where you want to draw attention to. So first thing first, second thing next. So let's just keep that there. And as I said, you can go in, you can change a different form, and change to whatever you fancy. So basic email vertical sign up. Maybe this is going to be a better one actually if we just are looking for email addresses. Again, this is exactly just what you want. So I'm going to just leave this here for demonstration. We've got our contact details if they want to contact us. Again, this is where you have to do the thought and everything into this for what is best for you and for your business, how you want things to work, how you want your marketing and your ClickFunnels to work. And we can change this. Now I want to just keep this page nice and big. It's the only thing on this page. Maybe that's a little bit dark for what we want. So let's darken that a little bit. Going to keep this as a parallax. And there we have it. So your sign up is all done, all completed, all ready to go. So what we want to do is just save that page. And then what we want to do is we want to go back into WordPress. And what we're going to start doing is our menu. So what I want you to do is scroll down to Appearance and hit Menus. So as you can see, there's different menus that Stack will have. All these menus here. But what we want to do is we want to just create a new menu. So you can get rid of the last menus that are there, or you can just go straight for a new menu. And we're going to look at what we're going to do. So the first thing what we want to do is give our menu a name. So I'm just going to have this as Life Coaching Menu. You can have this as Main Menu, just anything you want. So this is going to be the menu that we're going to use. So as you can see, the first thing that we have in our menu is our home page. So just for the purpose of this, I'm just going to be on the home page and I'm going to show you how to click through everything. So this is our home page. So in our menus, we want to go into Pages and we want to select our home page. And we want to add this to the menu. So that's already there. Then what we want to do is we want to have an About section for our About Me and our About NLP. But notice that notice first of all that we never actually created an About page, we just created About Me and About NLP. So if I click on this About, all it does is the drop down menu. It doesn't actually take me to a particular page. So the way we're going to do that is just go into our menu, and what I want you to click on is Custom Links. So this is when, if you have like an external link, like a YouTube video, for example, that you want to put in, you can do that straight away. So if there is a YouTube video, you put the link in and then watch video. But for this, we want to use this as menu headers. So this is going to be our About section. And all I want you to do is stick a hashtag. Oops, wrong button. All I want you to do is stick a hashtag in there and then click Add to Menu. So this is our homepage, and we've got our About. So the homepage is a page, it's a clickable link. The About is just a header. So there's no link listed in the URL. So now what we want to do is we want to add our two pages under that, which is the About Me and the About Life Coaching. So we want to check those, we want to add those to our menu. Now we've got 4. But the thing is, our About pages fall under the About category. So this is easily done by just sliding across. So if you want the About Me to be under the Life Coaching, you can do that. But for this, we're just going to have them 2 pages in one subcategory. So that's that there, ready to go. Then we've got our programs for you. And we want to do exactly the same as what we've just done, but with our programs. So if we just go into Custom Link, and we hit hashtag, and programs for you. And you can label these as whatever you like. And now what we want to do is we want to add the 2 products that we made. Now remember, we made these under products. And you're kind of looking here and you're thinking, Ed, I don't see the products. Are they under categories? No, they're not there. Events? No, I don't see the products. What I want you to do is just go up here into Screen Options. And it'll give you a load of boxes just to check and uncheck here. All I want you to do is find Products, which is just here. I want you just to select it. And as you close the screen, Products, there's our products listed now. So what we want to do is add these 2 products into our menu. And we just want to select them under the programs for you. So we've got the relationship and your environment. Now just notice that anything that you ever create as a menu, so even if I wanted this to come under environment, whatever I'm selecting going through my menu, I start to find that this wouldn't be a clickable link. So it's really important that anything that is a page, that you actually have a clickable link for it first. Just call it something else. So now we've got those three. So it's into our blog. That's easily enough. So you've got a couple of different options here. What I'm going to do is just go into our blog. So remember we made the blog. This is the main blog page. So we want to add this to our post. And if you want to add all the different blog posts that you've written, so if you just go into posts and, well, actually, yep, so that's our first blog post. Sorry, I didn't realize, I forgot that I called this something different. You can add this into your blog. Now, if you've got 2 or 3, just remember that our blog doesn't become a clickable link then. So for the purpose of this, I'm actually going to not have this in. Otherwise, it really defeats the purpose of having the blog page. If you did want to have it, I would maybe do a custom link and have sort of our blog. But then I would rename this to all blog pages. So just so that this still falls under the blog category, but I just think it's just best to have that one page that we made. So believe it or not, that is our menu done, and I'm going to show you then how to make this part here and just how your menu will be able to form into the background. But first of all, we need to select this check box here. So this is standard navigation. So basically, whenever we go back into a variant page builder, you'll see that this is the main menu for our page. So I want you to select standard navigation for that. And so whenever we do go into pages, and yeah, if we go into pages, what we want to do is go into our home page, edit with variant page builder. And you'll start to see that whenever we turn this on, so if we turn on standard bar, you'll start to see that our menu has appeared. So this is now set. This is our menu all up and running. I'm going to show you now how to add all these different links here. So let's just save that in there. And we will be coming back into variant page builder, no doubt. But the first thing we want to do is actually just set up our home page. So if we want to go into settings, we want to go into reading. And if you start actually if you go ahead now and stick in your website address, you'll start to see that the home page isn't actually your home page. That's because you need to select this button and select the page that you want to be your home page. So we can select home page there. And if you wanted to change it to say home, you could, but yeah, select home page. And if you ever want to rename your pages, you can. If you want to rename them into menus, you can. But yeah, so we've just selected our home. So that's it, yeah. So what we want to do is save those changes. And then what I want you to do is go into Appearance, and I want you to click on Customize. So this is another slight web page builder, but it's really for more the different settings. So first of all, what I want you to do is go ahead and upload your logo. So for this, for the purpose of this demo, I used one that was already in, so I wouldn't have launching soon, otherwise no one's going to use your product. So go ahead, upload your logo, make sure that it's a clear background logo for your business. So go ahead and upload your logo. Just for the purpose of this, I'm going to use one that Stack has already put in for us. There it is. So it's a Dribble, logo for Dribble. And as you can see, our logo just appears there. So, and then you can have the light logo. Sometimes there'll be different logos for different things. So again, go ahead. If you've got a dark logo, for example, and then a white logo, put the light one. So for this one, I'm just going to choose Stack. And you'll see on some pages, it will come up differently, especially when you go to edit your footers and customize those. So there we have that. And what I want you to do is go and click this button here. So we've got our subheader now. As you can see, whenever we were in Variant Page Builder, we changed our header to look a little bit differently. So if we go into Launch Variant Page Builder, we've got a number of different options that we can use for our header. So whenever we're choosing navigation, we can choose Standard Bar Transparent, And that will just blend all our header and all our links, all our menu links into the background of the image. But if we want to have a standard bar and top bar, you'll start to see that this will come up here. And for example, if you want to customize this top bar, you can do this by just editing it here. So you can select the gray background and put whatever text. Sometimes a website, an address is a really good thing for this. I prefer not to have it. So I'm actually going to go for standard bar transparent. It's a really good thing if you have your e-commerce set up. So I will show you how to do that in the advanced tutorial, but I just feel still, even with that, this is going to be the one that just looks so much crisper, so much nicer to use. And the main thing is now is this button here. So as you can see, we've got Join Us here. In our homepage, we've got Join Us, but we don't want to join us. We want to have Help Me Change. So let's write that in. So Help Me Change. And then what we've got is the hyperlink to the page that we want that to go to. So that was our Help Me Change page, obviously. So what you need to do is, as you can see here, for this tab we are in variant. So what you need to go into Pages and find the page that you want to go to. So let's click the Help Me Change page. And for this time, and for every other time, you'll be able to just find the page. But for this, I just want you to copy this hyperlink. And you can do that anyway. And I just want you to paste it into this box here. So there's different boxes that you can use as well if you would prefer your call to action to be look slightly different. So you can add another one of hello. Yeah, so there you can add another one. You can add a third one if you really want to. I've decided not to. I just like to have the one call to action. So if you did have another link that you wanted to add in, say for example your blog post, you could do that, no problems whatsoever. So that will get rid of itself. Okay, there we go. So, and then we've got, do we want all these will be selected yes to begin with. As I said, we've changed variant page builder just to go for the clear background. So at the moment it looks like I'm not changing anything, but we just want to click no for all these different things. So we want to save and publish that. We've got our logos. We've got this all ready to go. So if we go back into View Page, and if we go to our Help Me Change page, so this is how it's going to look, but if we go into our home page, there we go. So that's all changed. So outside of this, we can get rid of that if we want. Save that. And so that's everything there ready to go. So if we come down to our footer, as you can see, I've got a couple of social links in here. All we do here is click this button, and you'll be able to select the social link that you want it to go to. So if you have anything at all, so YouTube videos, Facebook, Instagram, this is a great place to be able to add your links in. I don't expect you to have PlayStation, but if you did, for example, just add the PlayStation logo, set in whatever the hyperlink is for the purpose. I'm just going to stick a hashtag so that you can see it pop up. And there it is, PlayStation logo. Who knew? So you can literally add any social icon that you can think of. It is probably there. If it's not, I'm sorry. But if it isn't, you probably shouldn't be using it. It's probably a little bit outdated. So there you go, Envato, Facebook, Flickr, anything you want. Your Google, any Google Plus page, just hashtag it. Okay, and as you can see, our logo is changed down at the bottom here. If we wanted to change the footer logo, we can change that. If not, it's just going to use the one that we put up here. So if we wanted to use a different logo, we could. I'm just going to save that. Any copyright, this is where you just want to stick your copyright here. This does look like coding, and it very much is. All I want you to do is select this part here and change this to whatever you want. So autumn life coaching. So there you go. So it'll change just that down there. So make sure you don't get rid of all this, just this little part between the copyright C, and change that part there to whatever you want. If you want an email address, you can. I prefer not to. You can change it in if you want anything, but I prefer just to leave these things alone. You have to go and change the footer to whatever you want, but you've got plenty of contact. So that is everything done there that we need to do. Do our footing settings? No, that's everything done that we would like to do. So if we just save and publish that, the one thing that I do want you to do is just to go down here and click header settings. And then what I want you to do is just go into subheader setting, layout settings. And you'll remember that in Variant Page Builder, our home page looked very different to the Help Me Change page. That's just because of this part here. So the global layout, if you want to use this bar here, what I want you to do is just standard bar transparent. So this will change to whatever you want, and it's going to change to every single. It's not going to change, it will in Variant Page Builder, but it won't. The original background style white, we don't need to change any of these things. Drop down menu width, we can change this to a medium if we want, especially if you've got long titles. Really good thing to do. And that is you ready and raring to go. So as you can see, this is the page that we've created. This is everything already raring to go. I've told you how you can update and change everything that you need. If you want to ask me any questions, just comment on the YouTube video below, and if it takes a little bit of text for me to explain to you how to change it, I'll do that straight away. But if you want to go ahead, and if it is something quite complex, I'm going to record another video and help you out with all that there. So go ahead, play about with your videos, make sure all the links are correct. Now that I've just mentioned that, I've just remembered one little thing. And so this is the final result. Just one thing now that we've gone back to the home page, just remember we pointed this out at the very start. This is why we have the asterisks. Make sure that you don't forget about any links that you were supposed to put in. So what I would do is just go into your pages, go into the home page, click Edit, launch Variant Page Builder. And so remember, we've got our Use Global option. And what I want you to do is just click this part here. And remember, we didn't have a hyperlink. So now we can just add the page that we're looking for. So if we want to search for our page, which is the Help Me Change page. So there we go. If we just click that link, and if we want this to open in a new tab, we can, especially if it's the home page. Sometimes that's a really good idea. So let's just add that in there as an open in new tab. So let's add that link. Link is updated, so that means we can just click on this, get rid of that. All our links we know are now ready to go. So there you have it. And finally, one little last tip that I just came across was if we go into our page, we go into the environment page, we can see that actually because this is white and our header is transparent, the colors don't actually change. So what's maybe worth doing is going into this page. Now remember, this was a product. So if we go into our products, and if we click environment, then if we scroll down here, this is where it has the override header. So this is where we actually want to override it just for this page. So if we go into standard bar, we click standard bar, we click update, and we click on this page and we want to update it. This means that our header is going to come back up just for this page. Now, when it comes to our home page, it's going to go back to the way we want it. So it just means, and I would do this again, straight again for your relationship, just replicate this, go in, override it, choose the menu that I've just shown you how to select, and then that way you won't have any. So there you go, there is your brand new life coaching website. This is something that you've created and you should be super proud of, something that you should now send to your friends, family, start getting those clients in and start really making your business flow more than it has before, because now you're looking so much more professional than where you were just this morning. So go ahead, comment below with your website. I'd love to see what some of you have come up with. If you are advanced tutorials going to be coming out really soon, so go over to the website, stick your email into the opt-in form, and we'll be able to send you out an email as soon as that's coming up to add brand new features and brand new settings into your website. So congratulations, congratulations on becoming a life coach. In the meantime, I really hope that keeps going well for you. Congratulations on creating your brand new life coaching website. I can't wait to see what some of you have created. Comment below, and in the meantime, if you need any help at all, I'm only a comment away. So peace out.